59-year-old Paul Crouch was sleeping on this bench at Toronto's Moss Park when he was senselessly beaten to death on a summer night back in 2005. Now, it's because of this tragedy that the Good Neighbours Club just down the street at Shooter and Jarvis implemented its annual Day of the Homeless.
We gather today to join our club members in remembering and honoring Paul Crouch. We will remember him to the end of our days. And we will also remember the members of the club who have died this last year. Deaths hastened, no doubt, by the life of the sometimes cruel streets of our city.
I want to tell you that Paul Crouch was a journalist, like my own daughter is a journalist. I visited his bench. I saw where he was zipped into his sleeping bag and couldn't escape. And if he had had even a small home of his own, he'd be alive and be with us here today.
Did you know Paul Crouch?
Yeah.
What kind of a man was he?
Oh, wonderful man, journalist. Just, he's just on, he's a homeless person, and but he's in a better place right now. I do know that, and we're all going there. There's nothing we can do about it. When the good Lord is through with us, He'll take us. And until such time, enjoy life and be able to make a choice.
And we have to start seeing people like Paul Crouch as our heroes, because these are people for who living their life to be a good person, which they strive and are, is a little more difficult journey.
Senator Art Eggleton has become a major champion of affordable housing.
We all know that a home is important to have. It anchors a person. It gives them an opportunity to move forward in their life. It gets them on their feet, gives them hope. They can move from there into worrying about getting a job or getting more education. But if they don't have a home to start with, they're just living day to day, just struggling on the streets. And you know what? It costs the taxpayer a lot more to have these people struggling on the street than it would be to give them into housing and give them the support service. They need support service. A lot of them have addictions or mental health problems, so a lot of them need support. It'd be far less expensive for the taxpayer to get people off the street and into good, decent, affordable housing.
The city's former mayor makes a persuasive point about the polarity between Canada's prosperous and poor.
1 in 3 single men in this country live in poverty. Now, this is the land of plenty. This is one of the richest, most prosperous countries in the world. How can we allow this to happen? We spend billions of dollars every year on a social welfare system that doesn't get people out of poverty, doesn't get people off the street. We've got to rework it.
Paul Crouch's tragic death has had an indelible effect on the community, but sadly he's one of many Good Neighbours Club members who die every year.
And the last one is David Malburn.
People are often quick to point out that the people in the streets have made poor choices, but I think we're all old enough to know that if we're perfectly honest with ourselves, we have all made poor choices. In fact, most of us, if we're honest, would admit that we make poor choices on a daily basis. And that if we look into our own worlds, into our companies, into our workplaces, into our homes, addiction and mental illness are prevalent.
As you can tell by meeting some of the members here today, the Good Neighbours Club gives homeless men over the age of 50 a second chance at life. Unfortunately, there's still a lot more that needs to be done. To find out how you can help, visit goodneighboursclub.org. For City Life TV, I'm Madeline Stevenson.